Hello and welcome to ALW Research Team. This is episode 12 of the Hull and Barnsley Railway Series. For the series playlist, click the card above or see the links to earlier episodes in the description box. In this week's episode, we are travelling towards the Aire Bridge. This has seen major repair work which was carried out by Network Rail in 2021. The project, costing £2.1 million, was to strengthen and repair several areas of the 65 metre long, 3-span, underbridge carrying, twin-ballasted, non-electrified tracks over the River Aire to Drax Power Station, which supplies around 12% of the UK's renewable electricity. The project has improved reliability for the 108 freight services transporting materials to and from Drax Power Station on average each week. Network Rail staff removed more than 100 metres of track so that new waterproofing and drainage system with a reinforced concrete slab could be installed. New rail sleepers and ballast were then relaid. Work was carried out to strengthen the steel structure, which should reduce the amount of maintenance work needed in the future. Rainwater can now be drained more effectively because of the repairs, giving the 1885 structure a lease of operational capability into the future. So viewers, what we've got there is the Hull and Barnsley's bridge over the River Aire. A lovely steel structure. This was preserved. When the railway shut, this was put under care and maintenance and preserved, and luckily for us, Drax Power Station reopened this section of line. Forking off that way was where the Hull and Barnsley Railway met the Great Central Railway. Just there, that fork. We're going to drive back down it soon. We're actually going to drive on the track bed of the Great Central Railway. I'll get over this gate. And we're going to go look at this wonderful bridge. See, the gates aren't even locked, so I just climbed over that one for ease. Wow, look at that architecture, it's lovely. And it's still getting maintained because I put a modern gutter on it to keep the bricks dry. It's lovely this, Dave, isn't it?
It is, it's really nice. It's a nice riveted iron bridge.
Yeah, we can get right up to it as well. But it's noisy when the when the trains go over it, rather. Look at these rivets within the bridge. Amazing, you can see where the Network Rail people are maintaining it as well. It's all greased. It's all greased up. Could do with a bit of a repaint, but otherwise it's sound. You know, all the stays are in, all the bolts, everything's tight, but it's just where the water's coming through. Just needs painting, but you can see again the plate layers have been greasing it all up. Sorry for keeping pausing, I'm looking where I am. So we are on a riverbank. Yeah, sorry if I pause when I'm talking. One of the P-way lads has left his glove behind. We can see the grease coming through again. So this is under care and maintenance still, as it is still in use. So here we are, an active part of the Hull and Barnsley Railway. And this is the bridge over the River Aire. Which is this. Got the nice pass through there for tractors and farm traffic. Can't see what bridge number this is, but we must be into the 60s now. There's usually a plate on it saying what number it is. You can see where the embankment's been maintained there. They've repaired it. I'm quite sure why. They've added some wall to it. It's nice to see old structures like this getting maintained still. Just needs a good rub down and a lick of paint now. I love the architecture of these old pieces of engineering heritage, this bridge here over the River Aire. Here Dave's just pointed out we're on a public footpath. Up here, talking of pedestrians, well, the P-Way staff, they've installed this scaffolding to the side, so they've got some railings, some handrails when they're going on there, because they're clearly coming up here and maintaining it. You can actually see up there, I'll just hold you up. Don't worry though, I'm not on or near the line. You can see there where it has been repainted, so they are doing maintenance on this bridge constantly, probably, to keep it going.
This is an addition. These pieces and the girders going underneath, they're an addition. These are the original ones which are riveted, but these are welded.
Welded and bolted,
Yeah.
Well spotted, Dave, yeah, because the steels are more modern, the square and the very square, and it's quite likely metric, whereas this will be imperial and it's all riveted. Yeah, these are bolted on with metric bolts. An addition to, must be up the weight of the bridge, is it? Make it carry more or more stable?
I wouldn't think to carry more. I would think maybe to make it more stable, you know, because it is knocking on a bit now.
Yes, 1885 this bridge will be
Yeah.
from. So it's been in service from 1885.
You can see evidence of the same sort of thing up there. That part that you pointed out that's been freshly painted green.
Actually new.
And
it's a new piece. Yeah, this
those
part here.
pieces in the corner as well.
So I've got this part here that goes up, that strut piece, that goes up and joins the rivets. All an addition. Didn't even notice that before, Dave, well done. Yeah, and they go all the way across, so every other spar going across is a new additional spar to stiffen the bridge up. And we can see the additions they've made to the brickwork. Some of the brickwork has actually pushed out in the past and they've bolstered it all up. You can see the pad there where the steel actually meets the concrete. It's on like a big rubber shoe in there, and they'll grease that up. So when the iron expands in the sun, in the heat, it can actually expand across a bit and then retract a bit. There's another rubber shoe there. I can get you in to see it. That rubber shoe there, look, that's what the bridge is actually sat on. It's on like rubber feet that can move. Then there'll be expansion joints in the actual rail as well to allow the track to expand and contract over the bridge. What a lovely sight. 1885 heritage, still maintained by Network Rail. And there's the customer, Drax Power Station in the distance, that has helped keep this railway open. Can someone tell me what that sign means there, that checker plate, red, black, yellow and white? Someone let me know what that is in the comments, please, because I don't know. We'll go under there actually, go down and have a look. So we can see the brickwork here. This doesn't look like it's ever had any render on it, like we saw earlier in the series at Willoughby and Kirkella. Mortar's been maintained. They've added mortar to the brickwork. Doesn't look to be any damage by machinery hitting the ends. There is a bit of damage here. Looks like water's got in and popped the bricks. That'll have to be repaired at some point. So this is in constant use. Behind us there, in the distance, that is the remains of Eggborough Power Station. Eggborough Power Station closed and is now getting demolished. The final 4 cooling towers were dropped a couple of weeks ago. Back to the railway. It's interesting how there's a little arch and then a big arch, and then these called parapets into the ground below, stilts.
Yeah, I think that's because a single span would be too great a distance. So they put the pilings in at the edge of the river bank. That way they haven't narrowed the river in any means, and they can span it with the big piece and then just use a little piece to make up over the banking.
In itself, it's a very complex structure with the brick there, and then the little arch and the pilings, and then the big arch here coming to brick again, and then there's this little accommodation tunnel to let the farm machinery through to the farms that were around. It's interesting that there's that much engineering just gone into one crossing over the River Aire, which brings me back to my thoughts of all these railways that were built in the late 1800s, the energy and the engineering effort that went into build them. It was just immense. This is just one river crossing on this railway from Hull to Starefoot. Train? Oh, I've got a train coming. So this will be a coal correction biomass train to Drax Power Station. Just turning my light off so I don't dazzle the driver. No, it probably won't, but can you run to the other side and get it from the other side, Dave?
I am.
We're very grateful to Drax Power Station because the only reason this railway is still here is to serve them. One of the 2 Drax biomass railway trains that we've seen today. One final look at the River Aire Hull and Barnsley railway crossing. Going under here. Now the Great Central Railway actually joined the Hull and Barnsley railway here, and it joined on this curve here. That went off to the Great Central Railway, off that way. All that is now demolished, but as a special treat for you viewers, keep watching, because we're actually going to drive down that now. We're going to drive down the old part of the Great Central Railway. Coming up. Right then, viewers, what we're doing now is we're going to drive up onto the embankment of the closed Great Central Railway. Sorry, that's Mr. Tall in your way there. I'll let the boy put that over there. We'll just move Mr. Tall out the way. There he is, look. Yeah, so we're just going to go up onto the embankment of the branch where the Great Central Railway met the Hull and Barnsley Railway. And this is it, right in front of us. This is the embankment here. To our right is the open Hull and Barnsley Railway part that was reopened in 1972 for Drax Power Station. And this in front of us now, we're now on the trackbed of the northern part of the Great Central Railway. The Hull and Barnsley and Great Central Joint Railway, which is also called the Gowdall and Braithwell Railway in some archives, was a joint line which ran from here at the Aire Junction via the village of Gowdall to the Great Central and Midland Joint Railway further south at the Braithwell Junction. The railway consisted of a double-track main line at a length of 21.4 miles. Opening on the 1st of May 1916, the link saw differing volumes of traffic. Being put into reserve in October 1958, track lifting was completed on this section in the early 1960s. So just coming up here on the centre left is a bridge parapet from the Great Central Railway, and we're going to have a look at it right now for you. Viewers. That is. Get that out. That is a part of the Great Central Railway that Dr. Beeching closed in the 1960s. All part of the reshaping of Britain's Railways Act that he brought out. Right there. And this was a bridge parapet which led to the Hull and Barnsley Railway, which is just north of us, and the River Aire railway bridge on the Hull and Barnsley Railway. Great Central Railway heritage right there. Thank you for watching ALW Research Team. Please subscribe for free and share this video. For behind the scenes access, join the members section. For 99p a month you will receive exclusive videos, icons and emojis. Bye bye.
Looking over my shoulder, looking back at your door. In my head it goes over.